Yesterday, I ended my partnership with TCGplayer, and I wanted to talk about that decision and my thought process and attitude leading up until that decision. I do want to say that this was not something I chose to do lightly. Working with Channel Fireball the last 2 years has been a great experience. The entire team is have just been nothing but kind and great to work with, and in a lot of ways, it has been an incredibly surreal experience to have my articles and videos just alongside all of my heroes of the game from when I was coming up. That being said, over the last 3 years, the executives at TCG Player have made decisions that have made me unhappy to have their logo on my content. Very, very simply put, and there's a lot to talk about. There's actually some stuff from my life before content creation that I want to get into in relation to that, but I actually kind of want to start at the at the end before we get to the beginning. So bear with me a little bit. So starting from yesterday, I put out a tweet announcing that I was ending my partnership with TCG Player. Looking at this the next day, I kind of wish I had expanded on this a little bit. It's hard to announce stuff in 144 characters, so my philosophy is usually like short and sweet, maybe a funny meme, and then expanding on these thoughts in a longer form YouTube video like I'm doing now. But I do think my general vagueness, the tweet said, I'm quitting my partnership with TCG Player. I can't work with a company that tries to bust their workers' union efforts. Give the union Twitter a follow. I do think it led to a lot of confusion and honestly very fairly led to a lot of confusion because there wasn't a ton of explanation. Again, my intention was I'd be making a YouTube video the next day, but I didn't say that in the tweet. And my tweet got posted to reddit.com, which sure is a website, and it made it to the top of the Magic homepage. And in these comments, there was a lot of discussion, confusion about why I was choosing to leave TCG Player now when the Syracuse workers had just voted to form their union and seemed like they won. Why is Spike doing this now? Doesn't really make any sense. And I think that confusion is really justified because my initial tweet was very vague. And in that Reddit thread, and also here on Twitter, there were some users who took this opportunity to slam dunk on me and point out that I am a Twitch streamer, which is owned by Amazon, which is a company that's very famously anti-union and has a lot of terrible business practices. And it's really funny because that point actually ties me perfectly into my overall thesis statement for my decision and this video. That thesis statement being that in the current corporate metagame of America, companies like TCG Player and Amazon have time and time again shown a pattern of neglect to their employees, a complete unwillingness to raise worker wages during periods of unprecedented profits, and a complete willingness to fire employees at a moment's notice as soon as anything starts to go south. In addition to cultivating environments that are not healthy for any employee to work in. And this is the status quo for workers in America, and it is very, very difficult to exist in this system or to exist outside of the system. It's hard to do either one. And even though I'm not able to exist outside of this corporate metagame, I am lucky enough that I have enough financial security and enough of a voice that I can help put some pressure on the TCG Player executives while the union is in the process of negotiating. And to expand on why I think it's important to put that pressure on the TCG executives right now, and why I think that this gesture of me leaving is important to do right now, I think that this Reddit user Jared puts it really well, that despite that the Syracuse workers voted to form the union over this weekend, that TCG Player is still able to stall contract negotiation for years, and they can take several bad faith, borderline illegal, actually legal actions to still retaliate against this union. And we have very good reason to think that they might do that because they've exhibited a pattern of behavior in the past. This pattern of behavior dates back to at least 2020 when TCG Player decided to lay off 15% of their warehouse workers after a big period of growth for the company. In response to that action, a lot of the warehouse workers in Syracuse wanted to unionize to protect themselves from future layoffs and negotiate for a better salary, because at the time they were being paid a little above minimum wage. They're being paid around $12 an hour. And in response to this, the executives at TCGplayer instead illegally offered them a salary of $15 an hour, some stock benefits, and the ability to work your way up to $17.50 in order to stop the unionization efforts. 3 years later, at the Syracuse warehouse, conditions have not significantly improved, and yet again, employees feel the need to form a union and protect themselves from TCGplayer management. I want to play a clip from one of the videos that the TCG union put out. They can definitely articulate their experiences much better than I've been able to. So I think it's important to listen to a little bit of this video.
What drove some of us to unionize is the fact that the metric system that we have in place is ever constantly changing. We have seen people unfairly punished, written up, and even arbitrarily fired for things such as not hitting numbers or hitting goals, especially during time periods when those metrics are consistently changing.
I have felt like even when they lay out a policy that says that they will give you a warning before this happens, they won't follow it, and you will have no idea at what level of discipline you are at now and when your last day will be. It's been terrifying. What we want to do with the union is bring all of us on the floor together, where we are stronger and we can be assured that things won't happen to us arbitrarily.
That video was posted a few months ago, and over these months, TCGplayer management has continued to demonstrate a pattern of doing everything in their power to stop this union from happening. They're compelling employees to attend mandatory meetings where they dissuade them from joining the union. They have posters up on the walls which reportedly encourage them to call the police on their coworkers if they call or text about the union. And over these last few months, I've been following the story pretty closely, and I was really relieved to see the union Twitter account announced that they had won their vote and that they were able to move forward into the contract negotiation phase. And I was really excited on Friday. And then yesterday, on Saturday, the TCGplayer management released a statement. We are disappointed our authentication center team members in Syracuse have decided to end their direct relationship with TCGplayer. Our priority continues to be building a positive workplace culture that supports our team members and benefits our TCGplayer community. And this whole line here, have decided to end their direct relationship with TCGplayer. And my interpretation is that this is corporate bullshit. This is corporate fancy speak for, we're unhappy, and this is something that the TCGplayer workers have brought upon themselves. And I had a very strong reaction to this statement. That, to me, the vibe and the likelihood that TCGplayer management is going to continue to retaliate against this effort is just so likely. That's the pattern that they've demonstrated in the past. I have a really hard time imagining that it's just going to be smooth sailing from here. I really, really hope that I'm wrong. I really hope that I look really dumb for leaving, and that everything is just smooth from here on out, and that the contract negotiation goes really well, and they're able to start thriving and negotiate for good environments and fair wages. My instinct and my gut is telling me that this is not what's going to happen, and that there's a long fight ahead of them, and that's why I left. I'm just trying to do what I can to help put some pressure on them, help put some pressure on management to be fair and have contract negotiation go smoothly. At the end of the day, I'm not really expecting this action on my part to have a huge impact. I think that any individual person by themselves has a really hard time having a big impact on something like this. But the more I thought about it, the more I talked about it with my partner Esther, the more this is just what my moral compass was telling me to do, and this feels like the right thing to do in the moment. And hope that y'all can understand that. I really don't know how good a job I've done articulating this today. I've got the Spike Rambles for for a bit slide here. I'm going to continue to root for the workers in Syracuse. I hope that you do too. As far as me personally and my content, I don't think things are really going to change very much. I'm likely to do more special just for YouTube videos, but hopefully more Magic related and not serious topic videos like this going forward. Maybe some more Twitch streams, more weekend challenges on average than in the past while I'm not writing articles. I may also end up writing articles for a different site at some point, but likely going to take a break from article writing in general. We'll see. The future is going to be mostly unchanged as far as my content creation goes, just with some extra time to work on different projects. It's been a really weird weekend, and I'm excited to kind of get back into the groove of things tomorrow. I appreciate you watching to the end of this video. I hope it wasn't boring. I hope I was able to articulate myself well. I don't know. All of this was really out of my comfort zone, and this was a hard video to make. At the end of the day, I'm happy with my decision, and I have nothing but good wishes for TCGplayer, Channel Fireball, and the community as a whole. I'll see you later. Bye.